Welcome, everybody, to BGST, the #1 podcast in America, talking Xbox game and everything related, and we got more drama than the goddamn Kardashians. But I'll tell you right now, yo, thanks for coming live with us, man. Realistically, we do have a hell of a show tonight. Crap's just in love with that sound effect, by the way. You may hear that.
Wait, no,
That's
hold
the
on.
build up right there, baby. It's about to get real.
Drama in the community.
Tonight on BGST.
Hashtag.
Dun dun dun.
Well, without any further delay, Crap, I know you're just foaming at the mouth. Can you tell us a little bit about what Eurogamer did and what it maybe the aftermath maybe of this?
Yeah, you know what? I did a video on this today. I was trying to do one with you.
That's right.
But I guess you were busy or whatever, so I was just like, fuck it, I wanted to get it done, so I got it out. What was interesting about this video, right, is that they admit in this video basically what we've all been saying for a long time, not just BGST, but each one of us individually and a lot of Xbox fans, and that is basically that a lot of these sites are holding a grudge against Microsoft based on the initial reveal, and you know, and that's pretty unfortunate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up, to be honest. I think the whole thing is this. You know, there was some discussion on Twitter about what it meant. This one individual called out the media saying, "Enough's enough. Let's forget about what happened in 2013."
Hey, I'll read. I'll read it. 1 second. Here we go. And this is how it starts off. It says, "It is time, probably for all of us, and by us I mean gamers, the gaming press, this site, myself, to move on, to stop bringing it up. The bungled launch of the Xbox One over 2 years ago has had a profound effect on the fortunes of Microsoft's gaming brand."
Bungle.
Yeah. But it is a closed book. It is far enough in the past that the Xbox reps can now bring it up in the conversation, you know, and for gamers it's basically a non-use. And then it goes on to talk about how the Kinect's not a forced issue anymore and things like that. So he says that the media and in that site itself is, you know, that it's biased, you know, and that's what we've all been saying. And people say we're crazy and we're the tinfoil hats. And so just, you know, it's like validation. I feel like I scored a fucking touchdown, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I fucking won the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, hey, we're right. We don't get enough credit for being right. I mean, we're all frauds and liars and this and exposed and that, right? But we're right on this. We were right, and they admitted it. Will that guy be fired?
Yeah,
Will they? Yeah.
Listen, he'd be the sixth member of the BGS Small Talk podcast.
But dude, do you guys think that's unbelievable? I mean, here it is, a guy writing for a big site. I mean, we'll see positive Xbox stuff sometimes on Bob's blog or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing usually big. Eurogamer is a big site, and here they came out and said, hey, I've been hard on them. This site has been hard on them. The media has been hard on them. Gamers are hard on them. It's 2013 was the reveal. What, May 2013? Get over it. Yeah. Get over it. You know, honestly, get the fuck over it, because it was so long ago. There was never any DRM. Microsoft is busting their ass. I've never seen a grudge like this in my life. In my life, I never have. And you know what? You can tell, like, when you do a good video. Like, I've retweeted so many people that have liked that video today that I did. You can tell that people are just, like, on board with it. You know what I mean? It's hard to hate because it's right there in black and white. You can read it in the first paragraph. It's not like you have to look 10 paragraphs deep. It says it right at the beginning. Hey, we're all been unfair to Microsoft. It's time to get over it. They're doing a good job. They're actually basically painting a picture that they're doing a better job than Sony. And not only that, not only does it praise Microsoft, but then a few paragraphs in it even talks about how they had a great E3, but it was overshadowed by Sony doing their, you know, this heartstrings thing, right? Like, and we all said that. Go back and watch our E3 thing. They were talking about games with no release dates, pulling on the heartstrings, right? Because they had to. They didn't have anything. Just imagine if they didn't show The Last Guardian, if they didn't have, well, that Final Fantasy thing's multi-platform, and like it's going to be different than people thought anyway. I think that's nothing. And the Shenmue thing begging scene, right? If they didn't have those two things, then what did they have? They had the worst E3 I've seen in the past 10 years. And, and I think that it was about time that someone said, hey, Sony look, Microsoft could have went out on the stage and been like, Conquer, we got a new one sometime. Just start naming off shit without dates, right? That's basically what Sony did. We got this, and Shenmue, Microsoft could have been Crimson Skies. Yeah, Jade Empire. Fuck yeah. Woo! And people would have been like, would they have been crying with the tears and shit like,
no, they would actually
Guardian.
question. They would actually question them. They would say you're doing that. And
exactly. Exactly. See, and I remember Andrew fucking Reiner from Game Informer was like, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful, such a great, the best thing ever." Oh, and he was like all just gushing over it, and I was like, and he's like, Sony wins E3, they win E3, and I'm like, and I questioned him on Twitter. I was like, but they didn't announce anything for this year. And that stuff doesn't have any announced dates. And he's like, well, it's just about, they really played it up to the fans. They're really for the fans and all that. And I'm like, for the fans?
What the fuck?
Yeah, for the fans.
Give me his address. I want to break his fucking jaw.
Good night. Not put paws on him, boy. Good.
Yeah.
Dude, like seriously, that's what it's come down to. And now people, are maybe starting to recognize this a bit.
Crap, I can't get too excited about that yet. And don't get me wrong, you have every right for saying what you're saying right there. But to be honest with you, this is one man, this is one article, this is not, and it's not going anywhere because the article came out, well, when did it come out? Was it a couple
2 days ago?
2 days. That's enough time in the gaming media to actually, to hit the road and run with it, and nobody's picked up on it because to be honest with you, you did it in one of your other videos. These people need to hate on Microsoft. It brings them business. It brings them clicks.
Yeah.
So, because what happens is when you hate on Microsoft, what happens? The Sony fans read and the Microsoft fans get upset, right? So it's double whammy. If they say something negative about Sony, the Sony fans go into hiding, and the Microsoft fans half of them click it. Half of them. It's like that's my point. So they don't actually get it. These studies are out. They know what makes them money.
Yeah,
so
in other words, we care less.
Exactly.
Whoever the head of Eurogamer is probably told that guy, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right.
It would have been much harder to. It would have been much harder to point out if Sony had actually games for a holiday.
Yeah.
If they actually did things that where you could really point to them having the better console, then well, the way people were reacting, you see certain things like the Rocket League stuff to me. Is
soccer cars?
Yeah, soccer cars.
Yeah, please use its proper name, Tim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, soccer cars was the media took that game and ran. I mean, I know that it's a good game or whatever, but it was just too highly. It was just too highly hyped. I think we all know that.
But Tim, it's even more than that.
But what my final point is, my point on the subject is that it became apparent at the end. So this Eurogamer is actually just talking about the truth now because it was, Microsoft got the cold shoulder this holiday. Sure, from the media, they didn't point out the things that it's been doing, and you look at places like IGN, and it just became apparent. So now 2016 is a new year, so I do think that things could maybe get better, but there was a bias, and it was largely due to DRM. And
I don't think, Tim. I think that bias is always going to be there. It's like shit. We freed the slaves, but we're still racist. It's up for Microsoft. Like I said this again. It's up to Microsoft. They have to get out there and start promoting their brand. We should see commercials about backwards compatibility. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, agreed.
We should see commercials about Quantum Break. We should see, only on Xbox. We should see this stuff. I don't see any of this shit.
No, you don't.
You can't depend on the media. You know what I mean?
Agreed. You're right.
Microsoft should, invest in another media site, Xbox.
They don't exactly.
That was one of my gripes with Microsoft is that they did allow their marketing since Don Matrix left.
Yeah, there
went down. Way down.
They don't have the money to do what they used to do.
And then Microsoft, they got the fucking money.
No, dude. I mean, I don't want to get into all this right now, but did you hear what Nadal said, dude? It's like, it's not looking good for that brand. He like basically wants that shit wherever he can make money. You know, it's all about that.
He's
I'm
not
sure.
looking good for what brand? The Xbox brand?
Yeah, those games. I mean, he basically sees it as a money making platform, and that the hardware itself is like the Xbox. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Xbox or former Xbox exclusive games. Look at Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft owns that IP, on everything. What if you're thinking, what if Halo were on PlayStation?
You know,
I wonder how many sales. How many sales would that push?
Yeah, but crap, that's insane. That's like, you know what? Then the next time I walk into Burger King, I want a Big Mac.
I still think
like
this
them,
is on. They're just trying to do it with PC and phones.
I mean, it's one thing with PC because it's their own brand. There's no way in God's group.
Well, look, they got Cortana. They got Cortana on Android and on iPhone.
That's different.
They got Windows. Well, this guy, it's all about money for him.
And that's how. I mean, that's what we was talking about. How you want to play your games, but long as you play it on their platform, that's right. That's the direction that they're going.
100%.
You know, and it's just so the bridge between PC phones and all that other little stuff is going to be broken.
I don't think, but does it stop there? Does it stop there? I mean,
it stops. Look, to me, that's where it stops.
Did you see? If they're not going to do that and they're just going to do what you're saying, crap, then they're going to stop making hardware altogether.
Yeah,
well, I think there's only one more hardware after this one anyway. But and you could just tell Satya Nadella doesn't really like the hardware side. He doesn't, you know, like I get that he's not Bomber.
He's not a gamer.
Yeah, he's not. He calls everything PC. Like you know, it's like
it's like a device to
everything's
him.
a computer game. Like my mom would, or like growing up. Oh, you on that computer game? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm on a fucking console. You know what I mean? Like,
well, actually, check it out.
It's a good point that you bring up, though.
But check this out, all right? No, look, I looked at, you saw, because that was that article that came out today, which is good news. Killer Instinct Season 3 launching in March. Great news, right? Yes. But it's like Windows 10 exclusive, and people freaked out. They're like, oh, it's not coming on Xbox? It's fucking coming on Xbox, you idiot.
Of course it's coming on Xbox.
You know what I'm saying? It's cross-buy, it's cross-play, but it's Windows exclusive, meaning you need Windows 10. You can't play it on Windows 8 or Steam or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so every fucking comment is like, I guess they don't want my money. You know what I mean? So they're basically... This whole PC thing is about to be a spectacular fucking failure because nobody's gonna buy this shit on the Windows 10 app or anything. They want it on.
I think that's crazy. People will buy a good game.
I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you, man. I don't think that these games are gonna do very well on the Windows 10 thing because why would people want it on their Steam thing? You know what I'm saying? They don't want. They're Steam fanboys.
Steam took a hit recently, so
they did. But check this out. But
they're just getting involved with this though, crap. I know that you don't like it, but they're going.
No, I mean I don't even care about this shit. Like the cross-buy stuff, that shit doesn't affect me. I don't really give a fuck about that stuff. What I give a fuck about is the fact that when you read the CEO, he just seems to not really understand. Or
he's not like Bomber, who's going to give.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly.
He's not going to give them an excessive budget and say, "Oh, yeah, just freaking kill the competition."
Well, I thought they had the Xbox. Well, again, it's not some. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess he does have to sign off. Yeah, but the Xbox division is worth getting like 30 billion fucking.
Yeah, it's making money. It's just
it's not over fucking million units.
It's not making money that they compare it to fucking Windows 10 software money.
Yeah,
I mean, they're never gonna come close.
Phil said, you said before now when they have the meeting, they have a seat at the fucking big table. But again, like I know we talked about this before about the whole Steam and the Xbox thing, and now it's more evident. Like I said, it's true that you're not going to be able, you know, with your Steam, Windows 10 and Steam, you know, they have their Microsoft store. You know, just one ecosystem. Your Xbox One is a Windows 10 device. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can, whatever you have on your Windows 10 device, whatever it is, whether it may probably be a phone or an Xbox, you can take your shit with you wherever you go. Just log into your account, you have access to your stuff. I get that right there. But if you're talking about taking key franchises, which, you know what I mean, I do have the question, like, you know what I mean, are they in it to win this console generation? Because
they don't want to win it.
Look at a game like Minecraft.
They're not looking to win it. They're looking to make it okay for you.
You know, they're looking to be
for just like what you said and what Show has always said. You know what I mean? That they're you know, that you guys actually argued about before, but they're gonna go Windows 10 Xbox, whatever, just what you just said. Xbox games you could play on Windows 10, and that's gonna
all devices.
The CEO, because the CEO looks at everything like that fucking way anyway, but it doesn't really work.
Well, I mean, if you look at them to like getting a dumbed down version of a game for a phone or something like that, or if the cloud is actually what it should be,
streaming,
it can actually push those games on your phone and different devices. Then I don't see why not. They don't go that way.
Oh, but we can play Xbox One games on our Windows tablets now, but with a controller. But
yeah, I can play it on my.
It's going to be something though that develops. It's not going to happen overnight.
To be honest with you, I mean that's not nothing new though. I mean you can play play PS4 games. I can play it on my Vita or one of those Xperia Plays.
Well, I'm saying.
I mean you can
play Sony's catalog on my
Samsung
TV. But this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I question their. Like I said, I don't think they want to win. They want to make money. You know what I mean? It's not about a win for them. It's about who makes the most money.
And isn't that really who the real winner is?
I know.
Well, look, I don't even know if it's about like per se that. I mean, they're trying to.
It is because they have their software on. Look at the difference between when Obama was in office and now Nadella. You can get Microsoft Word on your iPad and shit like that. Yeah. They want their software on as many devices as possible.
So why did you guys say I was crazy when I said that it wouldn't be surprised me if you saw Xbox on PlayStation?
I'm just saying,
no, it's not going to go that
far. I don't know. The way
they have
because Microsoft Office and all that crap. To answer your question, it is only a software. They don't care if Dell has it, Mac has it. They don't give a shit who makes the other hardware. That's a software-based program. Halo, but Halo plays exclusively on. My point is, if you're going to do that, then just like Microsoft doesn't make computers. Does anybody own a Microsoft computer?
Well, yeah, no. They have service now.
Yeah, but you're missing my point. Nobody has the hardware of a Microsoft computer. You have a Dell or a Mac or a HP. Okay. Once you make Halo, Gears, and all that other stuff for Sony, well, then they're not going to make an Xbox anymore. They're just going to make games, and that's fine.
Well, I'm not saying that's going to happen this generation or anything.
No, it's not going to happen for.
But look, I'm just saying
15 years.
It should never happen.
I'm not a fan. Like I know a lot of people are a fan of this guy, right? I'm not. Like I could see it just from a gamer's perspective. Ballmer was all in. You know what I mean? If he believed in your product, if he believed in your product, you got the support.
He was a competitive, he was more.
Yeah, he was competitive. He was like me.
You were like, he was like you.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they just trying to live off the name.
Yeah,
you know
and so I'm not really a fan of that. Like I don't. No, look, if you're putting, because look, Windows 10. There's going to be people don't like Microsoft in the gaming community, so they're not going to buy their games. You're not going to hear that nobody buys them, but this Gears Ultimate is coming out on PC here soon, right? People aren't going to buy that. Why? Because it came out. They're pissed off because it didn't come out day and date with the Xbox One version, and because it's not on Steam.
You don't know.
Dude, I see it in comment sections all the time.
Okay, bro. I mean, there is a PC. The thing is that you can't with Windows 10 and.
Do they buy fucking games though? Those fucking.
With Windows 10, I think that it's going to be impossible to.
Oh yeah, you can't pirate with Windows 10.
You can't. From what I remember reading that, but I don't. You can't. So every game sold is a real game sold. So and they're going to have their own storefront. They're not merging in my opinion, with Steam. They're just doing the whole Windows device thing. The whole Xbox is, I don't like to say it's an app because we're going to get a new console. So
I think you guys also have a false prophet in Ballmer. Nadella has already accessed and granted Phil to spend many, many, many more millions on IP. But we didn't see anywhere near this kind of budget. There was absolutely no new IPs during Ballmer's run. We had, like everyone said, we had Halo and we had Gears every other.
At first you did, but then once you had, like Kinect 5 years in,
Kinect changed everything for that.
Yeah, Kinect changed the goddamn.
Yeah,
I saw it sell 10 million in a month, and
it extended.
It went with the money.
Yeah. Hey, look at this, because you had first party studios working on Kinect games, just like Sony has first party studios working on VR.
VR, which they won't acknowledge, but it is. It is.
They have Guerrilla Games Cambridge, Guerrilla Games, and their London studios both working on VR games.
So when we say that stuff, and you get so crazy.
If we all care about what the Xbox brand actually does at the end of the day, it's not like we all get a check, but if we do care. what I'd like to say is I'd love to know at the end of 2016, in December 2016, December 31st, I'd like to know who made more money so far this generation, Microsoft and with Xbox One or Sony. I don't care if Sony's 15 million consoles. I don't care if Sony's 15 million consoles ahead of Xbox. Microsoft will make more money because they are selling more software. They have more IP. They have more of their own brand. They're publishing all of their own games. Sony has done, it's the second Christmas in a row with no games coming from Sony Corporation of America. Nothing's coming out. Nothing at all. Nothing is coming out from them at all. So all their, you know how much small amount of money they make on a game like Metal Gear Solid 5 or Call of Duty Black Ops 3? They don't get a lot when they sell that on their system. They hope that those marketing deals sell consoles. And the idea is when you get consoles, they buy more games. Hopefully your games. But they don't have any games. So my point is Microsoft is actually whooping Sony's ass, I think, for in the dollar amount. Like the console, listen, you sell consoles, Tim. It's a one-time buy. It's a one-time buy. They make $20, $25 profit on each one, and it's over with. The IP is the gift that keeps on giving, because once you buy Microsoft IP, right, then you buy the DLC, then you buy the sequel, then you buy another. That's how they keep getting you to come back and keep giving them, and they make a lot more when it's their own game. And Microsoft has 6 or 7 of their own games coming out in 2016. Like, that's what I don't understand is everyone's like, well, Sony's cleaning up. Go ask anybody right now. It's Sony of America, corporate America, someone wearing a tie and a suit. How are you guys doing? They're going to freaking grab their tie next to their Adam's apple and be like, Next question. Next question.
They did sell. I mean, the Sony division is, if it's being hunkered down by any other division.
It's all one company. They didn't split it. That's why they chief, left. He went to split up. It's all one goddamn company still. You know what I mean?
What money is?
No. Well, it's
their console sales, $20 a console.
They do sell more than. I think that they just came out with. It's just sort of statistic that Sony was the top seller for the year, something like 11 billion revenue, and Xbox was at like 8 or something like that. But that includes hardware too. So profit, when you get into the whole thing of profit, that's a different story, or what you spent.
Right. Exactly.
And we also,
we'll never get a straight answer.
No, but no. Listen,
but as Phil has told me in the past that he's running the company to make games and to also make Microsoft money at doing it.
If you guys don't believe me, get a chance. Watch Shark Tank. The first thing they always ask, they're like, well, before we invest in you, how much money did you make last year? And they're like, $2 million. And they're like, wow, whoa, that's nice. That's really good. How much was your actual cost? And they're like, $1.9 million. Yeah. And they're like, oh, so you made $100,000. Yeah.
That's what I was telling you guys before.
Well, that's why when you do a third-party deal like COD that costs $55 million.
No, listen. Check it out. Hear me 1 second. Remember we had the conversation a couple of shows ago, and I said Microsoft needs to cut down, get the Xbox down to $300. And you said, no, it's going to fuck with the revenue. Well, see, the revenue was shit. It's all about your profit. That's the bottom line is what you made, and get the money against, from software sales. But we also have to take in account now that Microsoft owns Havoc, so which powers 99.9% of the games. I don't know what they get. So I
don't know how they judge the Xbox division. Only fucking Satya knows that, and people at Microsoft, and they're not going to tell you what they want.
They stopped releasing the numbers now, right?
They're not releasing. They judge it by social activity or something, like by Xbox Live, and what
how many hours we spent on Xbox Live?
Yeah, or no, how many people are socializing. See, I think Satya's mindset on gaming is that it's a very social media, which it is, and it's growing. You see it with YouTube. You see it with even the Xbox, like the app and stuff, and talking to people. So that's where I think that they're really looking is Xbox Live, and the way to grow that is to merge games and
Satya is right. I mean, Satya is right, Tim. Think about it. When you're on Twitter, very rarely are people just tweeting, wow, I'm having a really good time with Tomb Raider, or I'm having a great time with Bloodborne. The first thing you hear is, holy shit, PSN's down. Like, it is a social thing. So the one thing that does affect people is when they can't be social, they can't be connected. Of course, if you guys remember right, in 2013, nobody wanted to be connected. They just wanted to live in their basement and plug in their PlayStation 4 and play whatever game they could possibly get their hands on, right? That was what was important. Nowadays, if PSN is down or Xbox Live is down, somebody's calling the Pentagon immediately.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Look, like, as much as an Xbox guy as I am, you know, look, they're not going for the win here. Anybody that has those kind of illusions is crazy. They're going to rebuild their brand, get some IPs going. For the next console, because it's going to come out sooner than you think. And that's what I think so. I think so.
What do you realistically think? 2000? I think 2019 is.
I think we get it. Either we get it 2019, or they'll at least show it by then.
No, they're going to see the console in 2018.
It's not happening in 2018.
Nintendo's coming with their new console.
That's only 2 years. I don't think.
Aggressive only for one reason.
That's 5 years.
They have to research and develop. They don't just do it.
It's not just that. It's the money has to drop down for the components. See, it's the money has to drop.
Xbox One came out in 2013. Okay.
Well, you just said it.
You guys
Why would you want to wait 2 years for 2 generations of GPUs?
You guys have been gaming just as long as I have, okay? It came out in 2013. 2018, that's 5 years.
Yeah, but you're talking holiday 2018.
Let's say you want 4K. Do you want 4K on some games and 1080p? Because to get 4K on some games or 25%, you have to have a good GPU. You have to have
you can get a
right type of RAM.
Like $200, $250, $260.
It's not that easy. It's just not.
It's not. A 4K. Listen, you know you could walk into Best Buy right now and buy a Vizio 4K television for $500.
Right, but to render the game, that was a different story.
Listen, you're on a computer. Look up right now how much a 970 will cost you, and also, like I said.
Yeah, but people saw 970s and they do benchmarks like a 3D mark, and it doesn't always. You're running 23 seconds of 4K.
A console is a closed environment, so it does not need as much resources as a computer.
I know, but still, I don't know if we're there where you can get.
We're there?
I don't know if we're there where it's going to be cost effective.
Listen, the GPUs that they released, they were 3 generations already behind.
Well, if I just don't think that you.
Hold on, this is just let me interrupt real quick. All right, look, they came out at the end of 2013.
Okay.
Okay, so basically.
A generation is only going to 5 years.
Yeah, so basically you say 2014. So I would count 2014 as the first year. 14, 15, 16, 17, all of 2018, and then you announce it in 2019, and probably come out with it in 2020, maybe 2019, something like that.
2020 is my pick. That's my pick. That logic right there is mine as well.
That's just what I'm saying. Like maybe they get it. Maybe
small wager here, bet here in Beat Game of Small Talk. We're going to take a little bit.
Outside chance 2019. Outside chance, and the reason why.
That's 7 years. That's too long.
I'm going 2020.
Years, basically.
Well,
because look, if they announce, but by your logic, hold on. By next gen, by your logic, they would announce it in 2017 to release it.
No. I said they'd show it in 2018, and it'd be out by 2019.
But that's only given that's 2 years from now, right?
Okay, well, 2019.
You know what? So much shit has changed in 2 years. 3 years? Look, prime example. Every generation, well, look how much things have changed this generation. Everyone's buying games digital. Last generation, no one thought about really buying their game. We all wanted physical. It changes all the time. 7 years is too long. You have a new competitor, which is Nintendo, throwing their hat in the ring with a more powerful machine.
You don't know that. Let's just see that, bro. Let's just wait until the specs come out. Wait until the specs come out.
Listen, Nintendo's been in the business for 100 fucking years.
Nintendo's not doing third party.
And I don't care for Nintendo. It's just
I gotta see what it is.
Like this, and we can leave the chips that went inside the box for the Xbox One were thought about in 2011, 2012. All right, box came out in 2013. Nintendo's console is coming out in 2016. So you mean to tell me they're going to use some shit from 2011 to put in the machine that's coming out in 2016? 5 years? Come on.
I don't think that they plan on. I don't think that they care about the third-party stuff as much. I think that they are trying to push.
It's already been proven that you need third-party support for your console.
Dude, who's gonna drop the PS4 or the Xbox One to play their third-party games on the Wii U? And
listen, if they can come out with 1080p, this is what the generation has all been about. At minimum, if every game that comes out, because you certainly heard the report that when they came out with the video demo, said they can push enough polygons more than what the Xbox One and the PS4 can do. So if they can get every game at a minimum 1080p, 60 frames a second.
Next gen. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Even though that, yeah, they talked about it, but they talk out their asses. Are you giving up your playing in multiplats on Xbox One to go play it on fucking NX? I'm not.
I don't know. I don't like.
I'm not. 1080p is not making me do that. If I cared that much about it, I'd fucking build a PC or play on PC. I don't.
Okay, hey Tim, hey crap, that's you and I talking. But what do we hear in all our videos? Xbox 720.
Yeah, but guess what? Also, we hear
the superior multiplats are on the PlayStation 4. Why? Because they're at 1080p.
They only care about that only having more pixels than the Xbox.
You can't say it doesn't count. That's one thorn that's in the Xbox side.
Bro, but nobody's gonna be pushing that NX and be like, this is where you gotta play because 1080p.
NX, you have to just wait. Let's just.
Yeah, I would say. Did you see that controller? I mean, that seemed pretty gimmicky if that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like that little. I just
think if you think that Nintendo's console is going to be on power-wise with something that's until that's not even.
I think if Nintendo were fucking smart,
depends on what they're building.
If Nintendo were smart, they just stick it out with the Wii U until 2019 or whatever when the next Xbox comes out.
There's no way. Listen, there's no way they can do. They don't have any games.
Dude, they've got more games than the PS4, and the PS4 smells like hotcakes.
Listen, but those are few and far between. You get multiplats every Tuesday.
Hey man, I'd much rather play fucking Star Fox and Zelda next year on Wii U than whatever the fuck PlayStation 4 has.
Exclusives every 3 to 4 months. You know what I mean? That's a long way to wait for a new game. 4 months, like god damn, like that you can't run a business.
I'm just looking at it as aggressive. There's what Zaire saying is right. He's trying to say you've got to keep up with the Joneses. In this case, the Joneses is the PC world, and we can't keep up with them because they come out with a new product every 6 months, a new chip or new card. But Phil definitely, if you look back, there was a show. I have to go back and look for it. It was on Red Gaming Tech. It's a good channel. It's a Tony site, but he really does get into it. It was about basically Phil hired a lot of top-level electrical engineers and software engineers the minute he took office. And it was basically because they were saying they were, at the time, speculating an immediate redesign of the Xbox One, meaning slim, maybe faster, this, that, whatever. So there's been this and that coming on with the Elite that came out. We may see the Slim next year. That's great, whatever.
This year, I would say the Slim, right?
I'm sorry, I keep saying next year. I keep thinking it's 15. I meant 16. Yes, this year. But what I'm saying is that I think that what we're going to see is you're going to see a new console in 2019 because Phil wants to. Let's say, Tim, listen, you said 2020, right? Okay, fine. That may have been the original target date, but I think that's what Sony has targeted, and I think Phil wants to beat them by a full year. And the way he did that was he loaded up on engineers. He's got some of the best people working for him right now, and they're really working their asses off on not just the hardware as far as the internals, but they also want the box to look a little bit sexier. So they're gonna do what they got to do to make sure that this is. And the only way to really get to them is the same way that they got to Sony last generation, and that is by undercutting them with time, and that is by 6 to 12 months, even if it's 8 months first.
I think going by 2020, you have to have a bar of 4K is the resolution.
Tim, most people are still gaming on 720p TVs.
You guys saw that article that came out.
At least that much power. I don't mind the game being 1080p.
I'll be honest with you.
Quantum Break.
There's chipsets. Listen, there's chipsets coming out next year, 2017.
Hey, shout out to the 330 people watching or so. Looking pretty damn
Literally,
good.
I think that that chipset is going to be coming out next year. Okay, in 2017 or end of 2016. Those are supposed to be chips built for the console that are going to be of magnitude, they said, of 10 times what we're actually dealing with. And they're supposed to become affordable sometime around the end of 17, 18 for the Microsoft or Sony to go in and scoop them up at large quantities.
Wow.
That's why I'm telling you 2019 is truly a legitimate goal. It's not wishful thinking. It's a legitimate goal.
I'm going to say 2020 because Microsoft's acquiring AMD, and that's going to put a little time.
But even I would say 4K. I mean,
it doesn't really have to be.
But no, it should.
Quantum Break.
No, it should.
And you know what, Tim?
You can add.
Listen, I would say like this, and I used to think this also because I'm not saying that we're wealthy, but we're okay. We have nice TVs. I'm a part of some of these Xbox groups, and these motherfuckers post their setups. I've seen motherfuckers with fatback TVs with all types of RGA hookups. Like, that's not for everybody, you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to have a 4K television, so that's like sheer lunacy to them, you know what I mean? Like, they're not.
It is 2020, though. That's why I'm saying it is.
I know that. Like I said, people still, Tim, people still playing on 720p television.
I hope we're a little fucking. Yeah, you're right.
I think 4K is the way. If I'm working at Microsoft, unless the numbers just don't project it the right way and it's just out of reach, I do think 4K is something that, because
it should be the minimum.
Listen, my father-in-law today was at the store shopping for a 4K TV. 4K is, I mean, he's 70 years old almost. Like that's you have someone in their 60s right now shopping for a 4K TV. You understand that that's not necessarily what we think is the future. I think if you want to prepare for 2020 or 2022, you're talking 8K. You know, I mean, like, we're almost there. 4K is going to be a household name if it's not already by the end of 2016.
But guess what, Mooch? Guess what? It is 2016, right? Listen, how long has 1080p been out?
Probably 7 years.
And guess what? The Xbox One still can do games in 1080p, 60 frames per second.
You know what it was, though?
We know that story.
But listen, you said it yourself. A lot of different things changed in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
I know that.
When they were developing for this Xbox One, the resolution was not something I think was on the hot topic list. They didn't care. They didn't think people cared because nobody said anything last year. They're like, as long as we're in HD, we're okay. Now people realize that, yes, they want good gameplay, this, that, and the other thing. But look as long as it's got the top resolution that you could put out at that time for a console, people are excited about soccer cars. They don't care what the game is anymore. We are actually letting developers go. We're letting them off the hook. We're like, do me a favor. Just make a car that hits a ball into an empty net. Just make sure that shit's crisp. I want to see, you know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is, literally, I'm going to send you pictures. I'll send it to you. I'll DM you right now. I got a picture of a price ticket. I was helping my father, like I said, shop for a TV. 55-inch Samsung, 4K, not Ultra HD, 4K. $799, $800. I'll send you the picture. I get the tag and everything. So what I'm saying to you is, to say 2020, 2019, if it's not 4K enabled, that's a problem. It needs to be. 4K is going to be.
Yeah, it's like a lot. 4K is a lot of. Yeah, I agree.
I'm saying, but not in 3 years.
To process that is a lot.
That's true. That is true, Tim. And I can't speak to that. I don't do a lot of that.
I'm just saying. I mean, just being like, I'm just saying. What's the highest card AMD? I mean, NVIDIA has now. Is it 980? I don't know.
980 is what everyone's.
I'm saying, but you can achieve. You know, what I mean, on you know, but you got to realize this too. Microsoft and Sony are not paying what we're paying for GPU. They're getting them fucking.
Well, let's just say.
But, you know,
I wouldn't be happy if my console in 2019, let's just say, has a 980. I wouldn't I wouldn't be happy if it was the best card in 980. I'd be a little let down. I want something. Microsoft has to say, you know what? Here you are. Here's your fucking power. They gotta spend a lot of money. They gotta make a statement there.
I hope so. I hope they do.
I think they will.
I hope so.
I think they will have the most powerful console.
Tim, listen. I hope so. I'm just being honest with you. I don't care about I'm an Xbox dude, but this resolution shit. It shouldn't be something. It shouldn't be. We should be talking about. It should be about games. You know what I mean? They didn't cover their ass. You know what I mean? They was fucking scrounging up pennies instead of, you know, you got the fucking money, spend. You know what I mean? You shot your load.
They have the money?
Connect. They shot their load on the fucking connect on the peripheral, and when they gimped out on the fucking hardware. It's the honest truth.
Well, that's a good point. I think, Tim, you can vouch for this, that Kinect is pretty much over as far as next generation goes. So, with that being out, you're talking about millions and millions. I mean, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars that went into that technology. That now gets freed up for the hardware side, as far as just making the console better itself, stronger. So, and Phil knows that it's power. You know what I mean? That's all it is next year. Let the developers do what they got to do, but if you give that box the ability to do 4K, the developers will find a way to make it 4K.
Oh yeah, I mean and listen, I'm just saying.
Well, I'm saying 4K. Whatever.
It should be the minimum. That should be the minimum.
That's my.
Like I said before, this generation 1080p should have been the minimum. We were talking about 1080p last generation.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, I listen. Listen. Before we got our Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4, let's be honest. We was probably talking about 4K last year before we got them. There's no way in hell none of us could have thought of that. Like, goddamn, when that Tim, you lost your goddamn mind when motherfucking Call of Duty was 720p. Ballistic. You went ballistic. You know what I mean? So again, like, I mean, I hope that they do the right thing.
Oh, they will. They will. The guy, Panay Pinot, he's a big hardware guy, so they're gonna have, and he's in charge of the Windows.
Well, they had him tied in the closet when he was making the Xbox One. They had him gagged. Jesus Christ, Batman! Just like it's my utility belt. Had that motherfucker tied up like Batman in the closet somewhere. Like, they gotta fucking bring it. You know what I mean?
Oh, they will. They will.
I hope so.
I think they will.
But no, what I don't. This is the fucking $1 million question. You spent $3 billion fucking dollars with AMD. Sony spent $4.5 million. How the fuck did they out hustle you? I don't understand this.
I think it was maybe a custom. I don't know.
The way I heard it was
last
minute. Sony did not have the plans for a GDDR5, and they didn't have plans even for an 8.
It was supposed to be 4.
8 gig RAM. No, it was supposed to be 4, and Sony
wouldn't be able to.
Whoever Microsoft's insider was, they reported back about the 4, and so Microsoft was like, "We'll show them. We'll use 8 gigs, and then we'll use this."
Well, let's be honest. If the Xbox had 8 gigabits of RAM, and Sony had 4 gigabits of RAM, we would have a big card there.
No, but not really, because you think about it.
Yeah, you get a game like Fallout.
Listen,
like something that maybe not just like a game that requires a lot of RAM.
Sony would have. I heard the developer from DICE, like you said, he was talking. I met the hip hop gamer. Fuck him though, but I'm not fucking. I don't shout out to him, but and the developer from DICE said because consoles are a closed environment. He said you can't, really use more than 6 gigs of, and it begins to pull back. You still got you still got to run other shit.
It's called diminishing returns. It's called diminishing returns. You only get up to real world use of 6 gigabits. When you go over there, it just doesn't.
Even PC games. You look at
it's called diminishing returns. Yes. But even so, if you could make a game with 5 gigabits of RAM. Sony would have had to use 3. So
but are you really using 5 gigabits of RAM?
Some games, sure, yeah.
What I'm saying, look at PC when I say that because you look at PC gaming, like say Call of Duty, and they show you the minimum specs to run Call of Duty on your rig. It'd be like 3 gigs or 4 gigs. And you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I still think they would run into. It would still have been a big.
I don't think it's the RAM. I think it's a GPU issue. That's the problem.
Issue, but if they did if Sony only had 4 gigabits of DDR5 as opposed to 8, that would have been a big feather in MS's hat, Microsoft's hat, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, let me say this.
Somebody's at the door. Oh, it's Worry. Hey,
Worry.
What's up, buddy?
Hold on. Worry. What's up, bro?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Come on in. The water's warm. Come on in.
It's Buddy on Twitter.
Hello? Wait, I can't hear him. What do you say?
They turn his mic up a little bit, Mooch. Use the control thing.
All right, let me turn him up. He's on blast.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on blast.
What's up? It's Crab Gamer's favorite.
What the fuck?
You're roboting.
You're roboting, Worry. Are you on the road? You may be on the road.
Yeah. I'll try and connect to you.
All right, well, you're connected now. Just try talking once more.
All right, I got you.
All right.
What's up?
What's up?
Yo, I can't believe it, but whatever the date and time is right now, I actually 100% agree with Crap.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, snap.
Worry. Do you think Nadal he wants to see Xbox games on all platforms?
I don't know. I don't think it makes sense for them to put Halo on PlayStation, but I mean, he does seem to be the guy that just wants to be the guy that offers the service to everybody, as opposed to like I'll be Mooch for a minute. He's the guy that wants to make the tires for all cars. He wants to.
Aliens are getting him.
The aliens got him. Yeah. You say he wants to be the guy to do what?
Basically, what he's saying.
He makes the tie everybody. He wants to supply. He wants to be the guy who supplies everything, as opposed to the guy that makes everything.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Well put. Well put. You know. Well. I don't know.
Rory saw the same article that I saw.
Their games on competing platforms.
Satya Nadella was just like, he doesn't even like the hardware side of things. He just wants to.
But you know what pissed me off? Crap. It's not even so much that. It was Phil with the PS4. With the cloud. You talked about the cloud, and it's going to make the Xbox 32 times more powerful, right? Remember this?
Yeah.
Shit? And then you turn around and say, you know what? The cloud is for the PlayStation 4 too. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Services, man. He wants to be the service guy. He wants.
I understand, but listen, you've been feeding your hardcore. You've been feeding us. We're the front line. We're every day fighting this console war, right?
Right.
The power of the cloud, and then now you're saying that you're gonna give your biggest competitor. You have to keep some things to your platform to make it unique.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Want to go out and buy it.
I don't think Phil had a say so in that either.
But look at it this way. They make the Surface, right? It's probably one of the best tablets you can buy in terms of productivity, right?
Yes.
But everything on that tablet I have on my iPad.
Yeah.
So why do they make the Surface?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying there. I just think that they see a market out there. The same reason why they have a phone.
Right.
Did Microsoft really have to get into the phone business? Not really. They're clearly in last place.
Right.
And, I mean, the same thing goes. You make a very good point. Why do they have the Surface? They just saw a market. They saw a piece of the pie out there where they knew that there was X amount of people that will purchase this product, and they said, look, if it costs us X, but we can make X plus Y, then I'm interested, even if it's a small amount. Just don't make me don't put me in the red.
Right, I agree. He even brought that up in the article. He said that it's really not about being number one. He doesn't even care if their phone segment is number one. He said he just wants to be the guy that completes the experience across whatever device a consumer chooses to buy. So right there, for him, making money is about providing services. It's not.
And listen, of course I make my analogies, but really what Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to be the diner, right? Like you never say I'm excited about going to the diner, but you never see a diner close in your hometown. Right. Because they got everything. So people keep going there. Like, what do you want? I want Italian. I want a hamburger. I want breakfast. Let's go to the diner. Because you can't go anywhere else for everything. And Microsoft's got the money and the capabilities to give the consumers a wide range over multiple devices.
If that's the way they feel, they're not going to be in the hardware business too much longer.
But you know what?
I think they're making another console.
Right.
They're making a console. I know that, but you know what I mean?
It's not a sexy way for console-only people to look at it. It's not sexy for them. That's why Crap's having a hard time with it. Because, seriously, me too. I just like consoles, so it's not sexy to look at it and say, well, how come you're not hyping up your own hardware? How come you don't want it to be number one? It's not sexy from a console-only standpoint, but from his standpoint, it's all about the dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not negating that. At the end of the day, it is a business. I mean, and that's why Microsoft are where they are and Sony are where they are.
Right.
I mean, they are better at business.
Hey, Sony's the same way. They want to they want to stream that PlayStation Now shit on everything. I mean, what's to say that they can't do their next gen stuff on there or anything like that?
That's a good point, Crap. They are doing the same thing, just in of course, the media is not bashing it, right? Like we can all play PlayStation 3 games on our TVs, or you have a Bravia TV, you could play a PlayStation 3 game right now. But nobody says anything. All of a sudden, Killer Instinct 3 is only going to be on a Windows 10 device, which, by the way, that hasn't been like awake for the past 12 months. Xbox One is a Windows 10 device. Everyone's up in arms like, oh my God, is Killer Instinct not coming to the Xbox? No, read, asshole, read.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. If you're a person out there, like for instance, you brought up the PlayStation Now on the TV, right? The only avenue that Sony has right now to put their games on another platform other than their own is through their television service, PlayStation Now. They don't have an inlet to PC the way Microsoft does. They're not going to put their stuff on a Windows 10 environment right now, and they're not putting it on Steam. But if you don't think that they want to do that, you're crazy. Of course they want to get their stuff out there.
Right. Well put. Microsoft has the avenue. Sony doesn't. It's a good point. I kind of agree with that. That's people. That's what I'm trying to say. That's part of this whole. I kind of agree with you. No, I do agree with you because that's the whole biased media bullshit that I kind of stand on that flag.
It's not sexy, man. It's not sexy. Young guys buying consoles, even us. I was one. I mean, PlayStation 2 came out. I was like camping out for the damn thing. You know what I mean? I was like, Motion Engine, woo!
Boy, you fell for that shit.
But at the end of the day, how far are they gonna go? Is the real.
But it's not like the kids, like people now. It's all about console only. That's the sexy thing, and Microsoft isn't sexy when it comes to that. They want to put everything everywhere. That's the disconnect. Like crap, you were talking about it. You were saying you don't like this, you don't like this. A lot of people see it that way because it's console only still. The console segment is the only segment that still hasn't embraced digital. Look at Steam. The PC gamers, everything's digital. For some reason, console people are like, I want like this. I want
Hey, Worry. The console digital sales are far up this generation. You know what I mean?
Well, they're up now, but I don't think that they're passing.
Still like a good portion. That just only want this.
For example, you look at remember GameStop was like they blamed their low quarter sales on.
Right. First they blame Star Wars.
And Star Wars sold fucking 11 million copies.
Well, they don't want to say digital is they don't want to tell you that digital is hurting their physical sales because they're all about physical.
Yes, and plus it's cheaper. So, look at the sales that Microsoft does on their page. You know what I mean? Like
there's no tax, correct, with digital sales?
I don't.
No, it depends on state for Microsoft. So if I buy the game, I gotta pay 8.2.65.
Yeah, I pay tax. I definitely pay tax.
But Sony, believe it or not, they don't, and I think it's because they're not an American company that they don't have to pay taxes. So I do believe in.
Of course, right? Anybody outside America doesn't have to pay taxes.
I do believe though that maybe the people in the audience can correct. If you buy a digital game on Sony for $60, it's $60. Not 65 or whatever.
I don't think I don't remember. I'm probably wrong, but I don't remember paying taxes on digital games on the Xbox.
No, I've never paid taxes.
Depends on your state. I know for a fact I pay.
I'm scared to buy a game.
It'd be like $3 to $4.
Yeah.
Depends on state where you buy, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, games in Jersey are $65. You know what I mean? 60 for about $5 for taxes.
I think it's ridiculous to sell digital games for that price since you're not getting a package or anything. I mean, you're fucking.
True.
You know?
That's a good point.
Yeah, they are saving quite a bit and not getting the packaging and the paper. And
logistics, getting it shipped out, whatever.
You can't trade it. You can't do shit with it.
There's another avenue. The first console maker to get that together and get that shit in order to where you can buy a game, they can pass on those savings to you digitally. That's an avenue that nobody's gone down yet. That's going to be big.
As long as they still have to, as long as you still need those brick and mortar stores to sell your hardware, they won't fuck with the with that.
Yeah, but give them, all these collectors. You give them a physical collector's edition. You don't have to have just a collector's edition. You don't have to have a $60 disc and an $80 collector's version, that $150 with a statue. Just make one version for a collector and all the rest digital.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, who knows? I mean, it's getting very complicated.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
the press.
I don't think it's going to be a sudden thing like that. I think it's something that will transition.
We're laying out the 6 degrees of what the fuck is Satya Nadella going to do. That's fine.
Kevin Bacon's at the end of it.
Yeah.
Where's Ballmer at when you need him? Come on, Ballmer. Sell the Clippers and get back into Microsoft.
He's in the front row of the Clippers.
Yeah.
Developers.
We can talk about. We can tackle this next. I just talked about this in my last video. Microsoft, releasing an Xbox Slim, and I said, that'd be perfect. Take out the disk drive, sell that bitch for $250. We back in the ball game. Like, you know what I mean?
Why would you do no?
But what about Blu-ray sales? What about Blu-ray player?
Digitally? I buy my movies digitally.
Dude, but next gen. Hold on, real quick.
You don't get a quality.
Next gen. You're saying sell it for $250. They're already selling it. Look, they're already selling the thing for $300 with the Blu-ray drive.
Okay.
Hello.
But
right. So you're just saying knock 50 off. That's stupid because it's going to confuse. It's going to confuse people.
How?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of people want a Blu-ray player. That's just another reason to. It's an attractive feature. You can't just strip out an attractive feature.
I understand where Zaire's coming from.
Well, yeah, I understand too, but listen to what I'm saying. The Wii U, part of the reason it flopped was because people were so fucking stupid for the Wii, right? Because you have parents buying stuff for their kids. Now what happens? You're gonna go, here's an Xbox One for $250, here's one for $300, and you have people are stupid. They're gonna buy the one for $250, and they're gonna buy the fucking disc, and they're gonna be like, where's the disc go?
Maybe we're just the Jetsons over here. My setup, you know how many fucking Kindle Fires and slingshot shots that I have all through this goddamn house? I think a discless 250 Slim. You know, you give them a couple games digitally, you know, like Halo 5 or Tomb Raider, it'll fucking sell.
Yeah, but you know what?
Mass confusion.
You know what?
Mass confusion.
Listen. Buying Blu-rays.
This goes right back
to still way more than Blu-rays. That's not a selling attraction.
This goes right back to that. Microsoft isn't sexy talking to the console-only gamers. Console-only gamers still haven't moved on from physical. They're not going to go for that. They want to.
Apple TV says hello.
With them.
Apple TV says hello.
Nobody's playing video games on Apple TV.
You can though.
But you're not playing console games on an Apple TV. Quality-wise, control-wise, you're not getting that.
So you're saying that won't nobody buy a digital Xbox One?
No, I didn't say nobody. No, I didn't say nobody would. But I don't.
If he plays every game, it would. But this is all bullshit because this is not happening. The Xbox Mini is not happening. So
no.
Without a Blu-ray drive, are you shitting me?
I like the idea, but I don't. I don't.
It's format. Blu-rays are not.
That would be the biggest blunder since Don Matrick said we got a console for you.
What about all these people buying 4K TVs and then 4K Blu-rays come out? What? That's not a dying feature. The next consoles better be able to play 4K TVs.
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
So then why strip out a player that plays the medium that's popular now?
Okay, listen. It's not even so much popular. Listen. I am a movie buff. I'm a movie buff. I buy all my movies digitally now.
Well, wait, listen. A lot of PCs that you go buy right now, okay, they all don't. Some of them don't take discs.
Well, here's the only thing. The only reason why this could work is because you have a lower price point.
But Xbox could sell for $25 to $35. They could sell a disc driver that's additional that you could plug into the side of the new gen, the next gen console.
You said Mooch said exactly. Most gaming rigs don't even have a fucking disc drive. They download their game digitally. Who the fuck? When the last time you see somebody walk into a store and give me Call of Duty digitally on a goddamn disc?
Like people are buying MacBook Pro Airs. Okay, right now they don't have a disc drive.
That's a huge link. But
if you want it though, no. But Worry makes a valid concern. There's a lot of people that build up their Blu-ray, their movies, this and that. They want to be able to play that. Of course, your Xbox.
Play in their house. Then, if that's the case.
What happened?
Well, I'm saying is that if the next generation could possibly be discless as far as the box, but they would actually
something to add. I'm just saying to cut the price point.
Right. I would be there. I would be there with you if I could get Blu-ray quality streaming.
Not streaming. You don't stream.
Not streaming.
You can never get the when you're doing it over the stream.
Yeah, I don't mean streaming.
No. My movies that I buy on the Xbox One, they're not streamed. You download them to your console, then play them from your console.
Right.
1080p.
Right.
Oh no! When you buy them, they don't download to your console.
You stream them off a site.
You stream them off a site.
Oh shit! Sorry, but they're in 1080p.
When you stream, your bit rate is not as high as playing a Blu-ray.
If you put a Blu-ray in and you hit the information, you'll see 30 or 40 megabits a second coming off that disc. You're not.
I'm sorry. I just never do it. I got an amazing TV. I never.
Oh yeah, the quality looks really good, but it's just not right. It's just not Blu-ray quality.
No disc drive. No disc drive. Huge mistake. Microsoft would fuck themselves.
What? No disc drive?
No disc drive would fuck them over. They would go back. That would be the biggest mistake since their original launch.
No, I'm not.
No, they probably won't because their whole pitch next gen is going to be having the backwards compatibility of Xbox One games and 360. If they're going to do that, they've got to have the ability to put a disc in. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you have a Slim coming this year that's going to be just a regular one with a Blu-ray drive. We know this.
Right.
They've got to refresh the fucking thing, make it smaller, make it more sexy, so you can do designs and shit on it.
I'm 100% digital. I wish we would move on to physical, but people aren't letting it go. They just won't.
I'm not. I got all my fucking AAAs.
I know you do. You roll around in bed with them discs, man.
I do, man. I'm like
Hartman with the money.
Hey, Aaron Greenberg fucking sent me a Banjo-Kazooie backpack for all my discs, man. I'm fucking packing them things up.
No crap, you got 2 up and 1 down. Like,
I don't, man. Mine's fit, dude. 35 down and.
I got 150 up, 150 down.
Okay, you do now, but still, compared to what I had before, mine's well above the average.
But I'm saying.
He gave those Amish dwarves in his yard steroids.
Yeah, fuck, dude. It's not a problem. I have no cap or anything anymore, dude. It's just I like my fucking discs. I want my games. Look, say I fell on hard.
Yeah, you fell on hard time with that shitty connection. No wonder you're not digital, bitch.
He fell on hard time.
If I needed I needed quick cash.
That was a bad time to drop, crap.
Hey, no, I'm saying, listen, no, that's not my connection, that's my computer. What I'm saying is, you fall on hard times, you got to sell my Xbox One. I got 150 games physical for that. I put an ad out. Xbox One, 150 games. How much am I getting for that? How much am I getting for that? Right?
$100.
Now, fucking shut the fuck up. Now, listen. You have an Xbox One and all your games are digital. You got just an Xbox One. You got no fucking games to sell. You're getting jack shit.
Why not? You can buy my hard drive too.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to sell your account. They're tied to your fucking account.
Okay, you're on hard times.
Yeah, but crap. I got a buddy who took 33 games to GameStop. Some of the games they offered him.
I've never taken a game for GameStop.
Listen, some of the games they offered him a nickel, a fucking nickel.
Yeah, I'm not saying you do that. You know who takes their games to GameStop? People that don't know how to fucking work eBay or know how to work Craig's or something better. There's always something better.
People don't want to deal with that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with
I've never done that. I'm not saying that I would. I'm just saying you have the fucking option. Isn't that what everybody bitched about with the Kinect and all the Xbox thing to begin with? Is they wanted the option?
Yeah, but
I just want the option.
All this stuff about you're not liking Microsoft and Nadella. Okay, but that's because the majority of people are still thinking like you think. They want console only, physical only, just push one product, make it sell better than the other, and we win. That's not.
I'm not worried about winning. I mean, winning is the games. I mean, to me, you know what I'm saying, and having a good service and things like that.
Just to take the pressure off you for a second, but I'm gonna you have to hear this out. When iPhone first came out, okay, I walked through the office and I had it, and they were like,
"Fuck Apple."
Right now, that's what they said. Fuck Apple, and it's never gonna catch on because I need what? I need a keyboard. I got big thumbs. I can't, I need this. I can't type. How do you type on that glass? It's never gonna know. I'm gonna press the same letter twice, and it's gonna send out the wrong. Listen, I told all these people. The problem is, crap, is you're not even that old. These guys were in their 50s and 60s that were saying this to me. Like the point of the matter is that I understand where you're coming from, and you can definitely believe that and want that. You're a consumer. How you spend your money is your prerogative, but that era is over. It's really over. You know what I mean? Like
but listen,
is, I mean,
Mooch, all the people complaining, right? All the people complaining have already moved on to buy music digitally.
Right.
They're buying books digitally.
Kindle
Fires sell more than paperback.
The sound.
Yeah.
That's true. Right about this one audience. You don't sell anymore. Don't buy their movie from Google Play.
To the downside.
iTunes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I'm going to sell my Bon Jovi collection, okay? But I can't. I got it all in iTunes.
You know what's funny too? The guy.
It is what it is.
The guy that I work with in my office that literally had gotten into so many heated discussions with me about the iPhone being a failure. He's like, it's going to fail. Now when I bring it up, you know what he said? He said, I didn't say that. I never said that. I'm like, yes, you did. I'm like, you made fun of it like every day because it didn't have a keyboard. I need to have a keyboard. I got big thumbs and I cannot lie. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? I'm like, who the fuck says this shit, man? That's all he kept saying was, I need this for my thumbs. I can't do that sideways shit with the glass and this and that. Now when I say it to him, he thinks I'm crazy. And don't get me wrong, I will be honest with you. When this generation kicked off, I was right behind crap on that. I agreed with him. Like, I really wanted physical copies. And then all of a sudden, literally, this is the laziest thing to say ever. But hear me out. I'm sitting there, and I had like Halo Master Chief Collection in the disc drive, and then out of nowhere, my friends are like, "Yo, let's play some Titanfall," and I'm like, "Ah, shit." I had to get up, go over, take the disc out, put the other one, and they're all like,
"Excellent." Only form of exercise, dude. Come on.
That's awesome.
Wait, you know what I think's amazing though is that as what's amazing is that as older gamers, we should be the ones pushing against digital. The younger kids that are playing games now, they should be the ones all for digital, and they are for everything except video games.
That's right. That's correct. It really is true. When you get all those assholes from the Sony camp, they're like, wait a minute, what about all my old... You know what it is, Worry, though? It's not about that. It's they're cheap as fuck because they can... You're right. GameStop gives a nickel for a game, and then they can walk in, and for $20, they can walk out with like 15 games from 18 years ago. You know, like, there's that guy, Grumpy Uncle Pete, that me and Crap follow on Twitter. This dude, well, we call him Grumpy Uncle Pete. His name's like Pete Skiddard or something like this. All he does is retro gaming. He comes back every 2 or 3 days. He lays a picture out of like PlayStation 1 games, an NES game, and he's like, got all these for like $4.50 and a fucking free shake. You know, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, he's so excited about. Like, these guys are so. These guys are so ridiculous with the freaking... They're cheap is the thing, Worry.
You know what, though? I understand collectors. I just don't want collectors to dictate what the whole industry has to be.
Leave collectors out of it. Leave collectors out of it. What I'm saying to you is, listen, once things go digital, okay? Listen, for God's sakes, the cheapest game you can get right now, digitally, that's not an indie, anything that was AAA, the cheapest it is usually about $24.99. Because they got you by the nuts. But you go look at a game physical that GameStop still has by chance. It's like $14, $13.
$9.
Yeah, exactly. You
9
can't do
with
that.
your gamer fuck card or whatever.
Yeah. So Sony fans are sitting there with their mittens and the fingers cut off, sitting there at E3, and Microsoft was like, we may get rid of used games. You know, like, we may get rid of used games, and they were like, no, boo, no, I gotta go. I'm not paying $50 for a game.
Hey, did we lose? We lost a member of BGST.
Who?
Where'd Showstopper go? Did he fall asleep?
Pick up the kids.
Yeah, he had to go get something. He had to do something, and then Worry just dropped.
Oh, Worry dropped.
We lost John.
We're losing them left and right, folks.
That's the guy.
Hey, no, it's interesting though because I like my physical.
You like to look at them
or whatever.
I do. You are a physical gamer because you always make fun of DRM when we go down, Xbox goes down, and we can't play our games.
Yeah. I'm like, here I am. But you know what the funny thing is? When the Xbox Live or there is an issue, I don't play anyway because the achievements are fucking tied to the online now, and I'm afraid that if I get an achievement, it won't ever pop because.
So like, when Xbox announced its original vision, were you okay with it?
You know what? I was okay. I'll tell you why I was okay with it. Just like what you're saying, Worry, and what Mooch said, because you could have the game and collect it, but also you didn't need it, to switch your games. Right, so I like that. They actually did a poll, and that's what people like. They hated switching games, but liked to collect the games, right?
And not even so much that. I like the fact that I could have traded my games digitally if I choose to. If you had NBA 15 and I had NBA Live 15, and that both our parents fucked up for Christmas, you wanted Live and I wanted 2K, we could have swapped our games with each other digitally.
You know what? Let me ask you a
question. My opinion, though, on why I like digital is twofold. One, you own it for the rest of your life. It's part of your digital certificate. It's always going to be there. Two, and it's pretty much the main reason, is you can digitally share your games. You could have two people on Xbox or PlayStation 4, whichever one, for the console side.
I need to get you to show me how to do that.
It's simple. It's just the way you have to designate your home console and how you have to play. You have to do it with somebody you trust.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to give them your Microsoft account password or your Sony account password to do this shit.
Yeah, so you do it with family, per se. Yeah, it's very simple. You can do it on both.
Let me ask you a question now. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, both of these consoles, when you buy a game, okay, the first thing that happens is when you put that physical disc in, is it downloads to the hard drive the entire game. It strips the game's information from the disc to the hard drive.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, don't you think that both of these companies want it to be digital? Why else would that happen? You could say, oh, it's better performance. It comes from the hard drive.
I thought it was because of the x86. You got to.
I think that you are along the right lines there.
Me and Worry were talking about this.
It would be cool to just play your games this year. Microsoft should do that.
We were talking about this the other day. Me and Worry were gaming, and we were talking about it. This actually made sense. When you download that disc, okay, at that point, crap, and this goes for the key. The disc is just a key. It's just a key. So when you buy it digitally, you have a digital key and a physical key. You don't own shit, really. I mean, they can always just cut your freaking account down, and you're probably not playing.
Well, now the argument is, if the servers go down, you lose the information. But then you just re-download it, and if you break your disc, you go buy another disc and re-download it. They both wanted to be digital. I just think that this one audience, this console-only audience, is still fighting against it.
I think it's a lot less than what it used to be. From 2013 to 2000 to now, it's made inroads. Yeah. But we're still not there per se. I would say 100%.
Yeah, sure. We're not. We're not even close.
So that's why you pull out, crap talks about confusing the market and that. And it would just be a shit show. If Microsoft did do that, I think they would be met by confusion. Even though they have two prices.
I didn't say what I was saying.
No, I agree. I like your idea.
Go away with what you have, but as an alternate choice. A cheaper option. You can have both.
Well, but all right. If you don't know Xbox from a hole in the wall, and you want to buy an Xbox, okay? Now you're a mother of Johnny and Lucy, okay? You see what? You see a 250 Xbox.
Yeah, and you just
now you got to explain to them.
Whatever game you want, just go into the marketplace.
Right, but still, they're a little half in the bag. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Then they have to put on the console, and they got to do this and that. It's a lot.
No, they're gonna buy the disc at the store, thinking that they're gonna play the game in that $250 Xbox, and they're gonna be fucked. It would be a huge mistake, a PR disaster, because then you're gonna essentially have
stupid shit like that.
Listen, because I have several digital devices through my house. Roku.
Not everyone's like you. You're a faggot that likes gadgets.
Microsoft
can't play shit. Those things are on the market for they sell. You know what I mean? I don't think shit they sell. Look at.
You have to educate the bottom line is it's just a headache. You have to educate them.
Not even that.
And it still don't work. The lady still will buy fucking the digital. She'll buy the disc.
Check it out. Buy a Blu-ray player, right?
You should go to a 3-hour class and still have to fucking buy it.
If you buy a Blu-ray player, or even when you buy a TV now, they're smart TVs. They come with fucking apps. You understand what I'm saying? Blu-ray players come with fucking apps. They're smart Blu-ray players. I think if you got a high definition TV, most 9 times you have a smart TV. You got the same digital. I can buy movies digitally on my fucking smart TV. I don't have to leave the house. I don't see what the fucking
because you're a little more acquainted to the technology.
Look,
people are fucking clueless, bro.
Look, people are stupid. I say it all the time. Look, the PS4 is on top because people are stupid, right? They're stupid. Next gen, you don't need any more fucking proof than that people that bought a fucking console with no goddamn games. They're stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's the high.
Next gen. Everything you said about kids know this stuff and all, I agree with. But listen, my nephew, he's got an iPad. He buys all this shit digitally. He tweets thousands of tweets, Facebook back and forth, messages. But he's got an Xbox One. Everything he's got's fucking physical disc. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
No, it is because a lot of gamers.
Well, some people
I know why. Because a lot of gamers like to look at this shit. Come on.
Yeah, a lot of people like the physical.
Well,
people like to trade it.
I got a different. How old's your nephew?
13.
That's why. Listen, whenever you go to GameStop, you see moms and dads in there with their 13, 14. They're always like buying games for their kids and hanging out. I bought games for my son and stuff like that. And listen, I don't buy my son 360 games digitally. I go over to the store, I buy them everything physical. There's something about that still because the kids trade their games, they hand it off to their buddies. It's what you got. I don't know. Let me look at what you got. And plus, let me break this down. I'll make it even easier. 13 to 18-year-olds. 13 to 17 they don't have their own credit card, so they're not buying $59, $99 games on digital on a credit card.
Well, here's another question then. Are we saying that the bulk of the users of these consoles are that age? And if they are, then they're never going to move forward.
I think that the bulk of the digital users are adults, and the physical form are more or less younger kids.
Yeah, the more
but that's because their parents do buy the shit for them.
Yeah,
and they don't. You don't really. You can just buy a game for Christmas, and the kid will play it. And the kid.
Let me answer. I'll answer where you. We lost word.
Kids get games for birthdays, Christmas. Adults get games every all year long. You know what I mean? So.
I think to answer Worry's question, though, he said, when will this change if it's always going to be just kids that want to have physical discs? Well, I think the answer is when digital becomes the new standard, when it's the standard, when there's no more like
when you can buy a game code right at this thing, and then
like Worry, I just tried to answer. Worry just came back. Worry, I answered your question. Your question was when is it okay if the kids are always going to buy physical? The answer that I think you're looking for is when it's the standard. When digital when somebody says to you now, hey, I'll be right over. I'll bring over my VHS tape of Independence Day. You know what I mean? Like at that point, you're like, I'm glad you got it, but fuck yourself. I'm not playing that.
Stay home.
Right. So my point is like when physical becomes the VHS, the bun of the VHS joke. Yeah. That's when physical will end. When CD ends, and we're almost there. We're almost there, but unfortunately, it's like you said, it seems like this industry, as high-tech as we try to make it, and as much as everybody's talking about 980T cards and this and that and fucking motherboards and blah, 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 they still want a disc. So we're still we seem to be one generation back. I don't mean generation console. We seem to be, so my point is that in 2019, when these next consoles come out, we're still actually in 2016 and thinking with that mentality. Now, when you get to 2025, 2027, then we're going to be without a disc because a CD at that point, you have to imagine by 2025, 26, a CD would almost be as comical as a VHS, in regard.
So Crap's going to be that old guy on a rocking chair.
Archie Bunker.
I collect vinyl records still. I got a bunch of them.
That's great.
Archie Bunker.
Oh,
shit sounds better than CDs or digital. That's for sure. They compress the shit out of digital music. They compress the fuck out of it.
All right. Yeah, the record sounds better.
Yeah. Fucking popping over that needle. Oh man, Crap's crazy, bro.
You know what we should do while we have Worry here is we should get to our last subject, and that is the Xbox community loyalty. Because I'd love to get Worry's, because we'll all say what we say, but then when Worry says it, it's almost like Pope John fucking Paul himself said it.
What did I say?
Worry, whatever you say is gospel is my point.
Well, Worry was very politically correct in saying that Eurogamer admitted that there was media bias. Like, right. I thought that was so funny the way he worded that. Was just like,
you're insane.
Yeah.
Worry's like, I can't even.
You can't even agree with Crap. You can't even agree with Crap without him taking a shot at you.
Great.
He's like, don't say that. Just say, hey, bro, Xbox is the best.
Yeah.
Xbox is the best box.
we have an uprising of disloyal Xbox One owners or something with them.
Here's the problem. Xbox One owners, are perfectly okay buying PS4s, right? And then they're just like, let's live and let live, like Ryan McCafferty from IGN, right? Like, coexist, yay! Like that. And then all of a sudden, well, I could see how there's bad on both sides and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but there's nobody that I know on the Xbox sides that's doing naked porn and putting your pictures on it or threatening and doing death threats and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the PS4 dudes that are so hardcore PS4, they will refuse to buy an Xbox One no matter what.
They'd rather play Making the Mem than playing Tomb Raider.
Well, I wasn't really
for real though.
My avenue I was going down was more along the lines of there's a lot of people that are vocal on Twitter, there's a lot of people that are vocal on YouTube that are Xbox people. And they've spent the past 3 to 5 years building up a following, a subscription of people that like to listen to what you're saying about Xbox. Now, this is not an opinion-based comment. This is just factual. This is just, if you have a show that's about comedy, well, then nobody's tuning in to hear about heart surgery. You know what I mean? And death in the hospital. Like, it's like, it's just the way it is. So my point being here is you have these people that have Xbox channels. They get a PS4, and then for 3 or 4 weeks, everyone that's following or sub to them, we have to hear about how great and how lovely the PlayStation is. Now, listen, if you want to do a segment or a show or harp for one day on it, by all means, it's your right. I mean, first of all, it's America. You can say whatever you want. But the point of the matter is, then these people get on. Well, hear me out. Then they get on Twitter and they're like, I can't figure out why all the people that follow me are angry. I'm getting more hate than fucking, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, I chimed in after 3 days of the person complaining about getting the negative press, and I said, you created the monster. That's your baby. You made a channel. You made a Twitter account that is pro Xbox. Then for 2.5 weeks, you're gushing about a YouTube app that you can stream, and you're excited about it, and nobody cares. It's a stupid thing to even gush over. And then you're showing PS4 share of Drive Club, PS4 share of Knack, and we're like, and your subscribers are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you've spent 5 years. That's my problem with the. Now, and this is where I'm going. Nobody who has a PS4 following on Twitter or nobody who has a PS4-centered channel on YouTube is spending 2.5 to 3 weeks being like, I just got my Xbox One, and holy shit, do I love this Snap feature. Let's fuck Snap. So like all I'm saying is, why can't that's where I get heated. Okay? I created what I created. Okay? My channel's my channel. You know when you come to my channel what you're gonna get. Okay? There's no secret here. Okay?
PlayStation fan?
Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? Well, PlayStation hate was.
As much as people think we're PlayStation fans, everybody in this room or Xbox fanboys. Everyone in here has a PS4 too. So
that's right. But when you watch that's correct, Crap, and it's a good point you say that, because when you watch a lot of these our rival folks that have podcasts that contradict us all the time, if you go down the dais, they don't have. Some of them don't have Xbox One.
Isn't that guy Colin Moriarty? That guy doesn't he not own a Xbox One?
Neither him or Greg have an Xbox
One.
What
the fuck are those guys?
Well, that's not fair to say, because listen, they're in the media. Whenever they ask Microsoft or Sony for something, they get a review copy. They definitely have an Xbox One in their homes. However, they never went out and spent money on theirs. Now, they did get a PS4 for free, as we all know, but they bought one.
They'll wait until it hits the PS4.
Yeah, but that's it. That's them just being a fanboy. They have an Xbox One.
When does that
Xbox One? I think
they have it at their.
They have it at their apartment. They do have an Xbox One.
Wait, they review Xbox games? I thought that was a Sony only thing.
No, they do.
My point is like, you have guys like that'll say stuff like, "Oh, I'm just waiting to get PlayStation 4 version."
Oh, they're fanboys.
And then you have guys on Xbox. We don't have anybody like that.
Yeah, nobody does that.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I just want to be a gamer," or just those guys completely just draw the line, and then
I finally had to unfollow one of these people, and I'm not mentioning names. They tweeted out hashtag for the trophies, and I was like, "That's it."
Listen, when you say that you don't have anyone like that, do you mean like
the Xbox? Like, they don't have. Xbox, there's nobody you really can get behind and be like. There's no Greggy Miller. You
don't mean like in YouTube land. You mean like in real land, like media land.
Yeah. Like I just noticed that it just seems like it's like politically correct if you're an Xbox One owner. And this goes even for the community. You're like, oh, I'll get a PlayStation 4 and it's good, but like Sony guys, they can take shots and nothing's ever said. Like the guy Colin Moriarty, I believe he said he'll wait until he gets PlayStation 4. Like, I could never see Ryan saying something like that was that on that type of console type basis where it's that out in the open. It just seems like
that's my point. Like, you just don't, and you said where you're like on the big scale. You're talking about like the IGN.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about from very large to very small. Yeah. There's nobody who has a PlayStation channel that we know that has, and please, if somebody does, I'd love to make a big bowl of popcorn and watch the video where they actually sit there and they're like, I just got my Xbox One and boom, man, I was fucking wrong all these years. This thing's fucking amazing. But that's what we hear from Xbox guys that get a PlayStation 4. They're like, oh my God, this PS4 button?
And you know what? When they do that, it screams of opportunistic.
It's
just a crock of shit for hits and popular.
You know what?
It's a turn off. I'm
gonna be fair.
Well, hold on one sec. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that.
No, I know you're not.
I don't think that, like, for instance, you don't really have an inroad into the PlayStation community. You don't talk to a lot of PlayStation-only people. So I'm sure there are PlayStation people who decided to buy an Xbox that have said, well, it's not as bad as I thought. But you're not seeing them because you're not there.
Yeah, but worry, I would say that everybody on this panel is pretty up to their fucking chin in the gaming media knowledge. And let me tell you right now, there's none that we can sit here and say, and if you do, please let me know because I can't find them. Who would I subscribe to that is openly Xbox on YouTube and bashes Sony?
That was always Sony.
That was Sony.
Well, it's like, you know, put it this way. I mean, I think of it on a different level, but I have a lot of admiration for ICXM. You know, it's Xbox man. They keep it real. They're Xbox fans, and then
is that the English site?
Yes, they're very good. Yeah, they're getting bigger and bigger. You know, it would be like them coming around, and then now they have a PS4 section, and then they're streaming fucking Bloodborne. I mean, honestly, that's gonna make me be like, what the fuck? You built up this, of this being an Xbox site. Now you're going down this round, which
like that time I did a negative Xbox video and Phil Spencer heard about it and everybody was like, "Crap sounds depressed."
Yeah, because I was like, "Crap, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about."
If you guys ever watched E! News and you're watching, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that couple even got divorced."
Yeah,
that's kind of how I feel when I see an Xbox guy I've been following for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Have you guys seen that button on the PS4 DualShock 4? It's right there. I can screen cap anything." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Listen. What? If you're a person, if you're like, for instance, me, I've never made my channel to be just one thing.
Right.
If you're a person that for say 3 years, I can understand that, but
that's my point.
You just have to be careful though, because there's a lot of people though that were kind of we're never that.
You've always but that's a good point. You're talking about from going from completely one way.
Right. I mean, like if tomorrow Crap decided to start doing a PS4 is the best box ever, then I would.
Hey, Sony, pay me $10,000 and I'll do it.
No, they don't pay you. They'll only lease your apartment or your house in Sony.
Sony equipment. But listen, just to be fair and be honest, maybe like the PlayStation 4 came out before the Xbox One. All right,
yes,
a week before, and I got it. And I was like, okay, this was pretty cool. But when I got my Xbox One, I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm just an Xbox. We're all biased. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Everyone has preference, and everyone uses preference to drive their thought process.
But whether you choose to be honest about it, that's another thing. I put my flaws on Front Street. I bleed green. I always will be. I prefer the controller. I prefer the equal.
Is Front Street where all those trannies hang out?
There you go.
Oh!
No.
No. Snicker.
Someone cut his mic. Someone cut his mic. He said, "I'm going up in smoke." But anyway, but like I said, it's like some people. What I think is a lot of popular channels, they don't be honest. You know what I mean? Instead of just coming out and saying what it is, or calling a spade a spade. You know what I mean?
Well, Worry said it himself. Z, he said it himself a second ago. Worry, you made a good point. Before you started your approach. You said, "I want everyone to know that I never developed my channel to either take." Microsoft or Sony side. That's true.
Well, that's fine. I have a preference, but I'm not like, insane.
Everyone has a preference.
But these people, the one person that me and Crap are talking about, and I'm not mentioning any names, their Twitter logo is I got Windows 10 for half of last year. You know what I mean? They're so Microsoft, they're bleeding out. They have Satya Nadella's fucking cologne. And
well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Seriously. Yeah. Don't you think it's possible though, like just devil's advocate?
Yeah.
Maybe people that are like that, when they do put their foot in the other side of the tub, they see things they like and they just decide, oh, I was wrong. You know what I mean?
Not at the rate that this is happening, Worry. And wait a minute. Now wait. Let me counter that with an intelligent answer, not just a dumb one. These people that we're talking about have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 followers on Twitter, or the equivalent of 20,000 to 25,000 followers. They know what the PS4 was. I knew what the PS4 was before I got it. I knew what that share button was. I don't need to tweet about it for 6 days.
See, I don't know who you're referring to. I'm just talking generally. Like sometimes people, and I don't know.
Worry. I'm not talking about in this case, and I know who the person is, and I'm going to tell you, and I know the person, probably for a long time. I can understand where Mooch is coming from.
Yeah, Worry, this is not a guy who
it isn't something like where a revelation to me. I'm going to be honest. It's a little. I don't like to say opportunistic because I think that's a little hard. But it's just I think it's they look at the grand scheme of things and.
Well, what do you gain though? What do you gain by
new followers?
Well, if you have a site, if you have a site or something, you're going to gain new followers. People are going to be, you're going to get those tweeners.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Like for example, I was having a discussion with a dude who used to be just all pro Xbox who does a site, and he has a PS4, and he's like just gushing about the PS4 games now, and I'm like, well, can you tell me what you're playing that's so fun because I want in on it because I haven't found anything, and he's like, oh, Uncharted collection, The Last of Us. Yeah, no, I didn't. And he's like Uncharted collection, got this and that, and I'm like, well, you named PS3 games and multiplats, and he's like, but those are great PS3 games. I was like, okay, well, I played them on the PS3. You have a new console. Why are you so happy with playing old games on a new console? You know what I mean? Like, and multi-platform games. How can anybody be happy with that?
But, and the thing is, Worry, just so you know, that it's not about ranting and raving about for no reason. The thing is this. You can enjoy whatever it is you want to enjoy. And actually, I had a really good conversation with this person on Twitter, and we're still good friends. I'm still following him. He's following me, and we ended with good terms. My point was just that I tried to explain to him it wasn't me attacking him. I was trying to make him understand. He kept on saying, I can't stand my followers. They're hating on me. I don't understand what I did wrong. I can't explain that I like something like this. And the point is that you can't. Not when you built a brand. It's very confusing when for 3.5 years and 4,000 followers later, you're telling us that you like Microsoft and this is why and blah, blah, blah. Then you just get a new, I don't want to call it a new toy in the home, but you get a new item in your home and you flip-flop in 40 seconds, and it's not even over anything worth flip-flopping over. We're talking about a PS4 share button and the ability to stream to YouTube and have your party heard on the YouTube. Now listen, I understand that we've all said this is cool, but realistically, nobody, quote-unquote gamer, is really using this. And how many people can't wait, like 11 o'clock at night, you're like, I got to get Zaire, Crap, Worry, and Tim into a party. Everyone's got to hear us drunk talk. Who the fuck cares? Nobody cares about the actual app, and it's an app that Microsoft's going to have very soon. If you notice, the only reason that Sony snuck that little tidbit out on YouTube is Microsoft had a little something called a brand new fucking UI coming out the past couple of months they had to work on. It was kind of a big deal. They didn't have time to worry about little things like that, or on Netflix, you can fucking show yourself in picture. Like, nobody cares about that shit anyways. And if you remember 2013, all these features were stupid, right? All these features that Microsoft were showing were stupid and dumb.
I understand what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying about somebody who like I keep using crap, but crap is hardcore Xbox. If all of a sudden crap is like, let's say crap.
Well, it wasn't that extreme.
It's not that big, but let's put it this way, where he's between us and crap.
But you're saying that if somebody built up an audience to be hardcore Xbox, that if they all of a sudden decide that they like the PlayStation, they shouldn't talk about it?
Not when you got that many followers, Worry. No. Or, you know what I said? Here was my other thing. Go ahead and enjoy what you want to do. Bow out from this.
It seemed like the guy was fucking rubbing it in.
He was rubbing it in. Listen,
he's just like, he was like hashtag for the players. Yeah. He was including Adam Boyd. And, it's so great. It's this and that. And
it was Worry. It was almost a week and change of the same shit. And we're talking about Drive Club still pictures. This is a guy who's got 4,000 followers. His Microsoft, he had I Love MS or Microsoft or something like that underneath. When Microsoft Windows 10 came out and you could have your logo or your picture with I'm Windows 10 now or something or whatever it was. He's just so into it, and it's just that's. But to answer your question, where can somebody say that? Absolutely, you definitely can. Then get ready for the backlash.
He just doesn't think that. Also, the reasons he gave was he liked the YouTube app. Listen, I saw the whole thing unfold. I just thought I don't think it was that big of a deal. Did I notice it, and did I think it was a little...
Well, no, wait, listen.
Or was it not done in the best need? Yes.
Tim, we're picking on that one. Let's leave that individual alone. Let's just talk about somebody...
Or he jumped in on the other one because he was going, scoop-loosh, and all this shit.
Oh, yeah.
I was making all the points. I made all the points, and Worry's like, kapow!
But see, it's just about... It's about being consistent, though.
Well, that's it.
It's like worry. If you did this, I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't. Because you've been consistent. You play on both platforms.
I just think it's funny. That's why, crap. I just think it's hysterical. That's why I was doing that to you. I don't take it serious.
I know, dude. You were egging him on because
I was
look,
like, I can't believe people argue about this stuff.
Yeah, well, it was just funny to me because this dude, again, that's the guy, one of the guys we're talking about, and he was all Xbox, and he was like just deflecting everything, just like a hardcore Sony fanboy would do. Like you bring up why the Uncharted collection don't have multiplayer.
I got my own. There was this one guy that I know, and he was telling me. He was telling me that he was giving me about a 20-30 minute answer why it's okay for him just to own the Xbox One, and he gave me all these reasons, and he felt offended that somebody said that he should own. He's a gamer and he should own all the consoles. Then the same guy 2 years later or whatever now gets the console and does a complete 360 or 180, and it's like gamers. After I listened to 20 minutes of him just giving me this critique on why it's okay for him to just own the Xbox One. The fact is that I guess just people want consistency. When you go from one end of the spectrum to the other, it's just gonna raise eyebrows, and that's basically what
I would just expect to lose people who came to me for one thing if I did that.
No, I say it like this, Warren. YouTube, I mean, when you start your brand, or when you're building your brand, or whatever the case, if you start off as a multi-console owner or whatever, you can own everything. Like I said, everyone has a preference. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
It doesn't make a difference. Everyone has a preference. You may prefer this more, whatever the case. But if you start your channel, and you got to think about, a couple years ago, there weren't too many pro Xbox channels out. There's a lot more now, and so you get an Xbox audience that comes to your channel to hear great Xbox news, right? So I'm tuning them, get my Xbox fix from this guy here. Right. Now he's talking about the Coleco 2600 is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, what I'm saying, and the people look at him like little sideways. What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like they can't take you serious now. You know what I mean? Because you were saying this. You kind of.
Well, it's like a good old friend Morris who just did the whole. He was believing in Mr. Media X and all this stuff, and then one day he said, "I'm a complete PlayStation 4 fanboy." After being a complete Xbox One fanboy for 8 years, he just switched it up in one day, and then he wants people to take him seriously.
Wait, one of those guys flipped? One of them Mr. Media X guys flipped?
No, he was just a big supporter of Mr. Media X. And
that's not the guy that went to E?
Morris. Morris. I don't want to say his last name. From Bang Bang.
Morris.
Yeah, he changed one day. He was like, yeah, PlayStation. Like, I remember being
that's my man.
Going at Jabari. He's a good guy. We were going at Jabari, and he was telling Jabari, PlayStation 4 sucks and this and that. The next day, like a day later, he's like, total opposite. He becomes like the persona of the.
Yeah, I think it was the 720p thing that pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, it was Tomb Raider. He got mad about Tomb Raider running 60 frames per second.
It didn't even run 60 frames on the PS4 though.
But that's what's
40 something or whatever the hell.
But then how do you take that same guy seriously? That's people want people
I just think it's nuts. I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's nuts.
Hey, Roy, what you don't gotta understand? People root for these consoles like they're their favorite basketball.
See yeah, I got you. I mean that's where I'm like out of the loop because I was never like that. Like I love hockey, but I don't like my hometown team because they're my hometown team.
Whenever people take the time to visit homosexual websites, even if that's your thing, and even you can be a straight dude that look through gay porn and put people's faces and pictures and families and make up all types of weird rumors and shit. That's when this shit is much more than gaming. You know what I mean?
How much is the site? How much is the gay porn site that you go to?
I get it dirt cheap, pennies on the dollar. Grannies and grannies, baby.
No, I mean, worry. When I go to actually play Uncharted, like I'm not gonna sit there with like a grunt on my face and like just sit there grinding and be like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna
enjoy the game. I'm gonna enjoy the game. Like that's fine. Like, but you gotta understand something. Like I genuinely the reason we all do this when we get on is because we do have a preference. We do want to have people hear our opinions, or we wouldn't do this for hours and hours a week. You know, I mean, the whole point of the matter is that somebody who's taking the time to do what he does, and he does giveaways and websites and this and that, and hey, blah, 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 and I love this, and he writes to Phil, and this. It's like you're doing all that, and then you get excited about a PS4 share button? That's...
it wasn't just that. It was like a 4-day onslaught of being now Mr. PlayStation.
Mr. PlayStation.
It just didn't come off well. I mean,
it didn't come off well. That's all.
I think he's a good guy. He's all right, but
he's all right. He's all right.
It was a little.
Especially the share button's been there since launch.
Not just that, but that share button shit, that has gone from very popular to nobody gives a flying fuck, by the way. And I knew that was coming. You know, that was as niche and gimmicky as...
There's a guy, I don't know if you guys know him, but there's a guy that was a PlayStation 4 guy. The Room of Death, I think, is his Twitter. And he's a PlayStation 4 guy. And he went to Xbox. But on his thing, because we followed each other, he's a good guy. He was very clear to make it apparent that, you know, he's a PlayStation 4 fan, and he, you know, this and that, and he had that regard, I guess, for his followers and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas this guy didn't do that. Like this guy,
right?
It was making it sound like all this time, it just didn't come off well, you know, in the thing, you know, where he just didn't have little disregard for all the people that he probably built up as Xbox fans, as being an Xbox hardcore guy, a guy that I remember being a fanboy of some sort to becoming one of these. Oh, I'm just a platform guy, agnostic.
So that's your thing. So your thing is if somebody was always hardcore one or the other, you don't like the whole.
I like to find consistency.
Right.
Like that Rad Gamer guy. Remember him on Twitter?
Yeah, exactly.
He was all Xbox, and then I woke up one day and I had fucking 300 screenshots of Drive Club on my fucking Twitter feed.
He's a great example. He's a guy that was tweeting Phil as much as I do, saying I love it, love Phil, love this. And one day. It's a funny story about him. We were doing screenshots, and remember Grand Theft Auto had more grass in one shot on PS4? Right. Yeah. I said to him, I go, Rob, there's more grass in the PlayStation 4. It could probably process it a little bit better. You know, it definitely has a stronger GPU. But we're talking grass here. He's like, no! There's not grass. That's bullshit. That's a lie. The Xbox is just about graphics. He fucking freaked out. Similar to Morris with the 1080 30.
Sort of like Top Gunna.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they freaked out, and then they go. I
remember one time Warren was talking to that guy on Skype when me and XGen were there. We were like,
what happened? What happened?
Dude, remember you ended up talking to Skype to that Top Gunna dude on Skype. Me and Worry, or me and NextGen were avoiding him, and then you were talking to him.
Yeah, I talk to everybody, man. Fuck it.
That was the 1080p thing. Everything 1080p and nothing.
Yeah, he's like 1080p and nothing.
But it's crazy how people can go from one end of the spectrum to the other. Then all of a sudden, all the Sony fanboys that he was arguing with, now he's big friends with them. So that was like a thing that you saw. You saw that with him, and I guess people maybe didn't want to see that with the person that we're talking about because, you know, it's just you see stupid stuff like that, you know. People just go which ways. I mean,
so
you can do. It's a free country. You can do what you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Don't expect me to respect you as much as I did.
That's all I'm saying is if you can absolutely say and do whatever you'd like. I mean, that's the whole thing that's great about this country. But at the same time, you also have to expect to get the backlash. You know, you can't just say, oh, well, I can't understand why I can't express my opinion. Well, you can't run into a Catholic church and be like, you know.
After being after
the right, you know, yeah, you can't. You just can't do that. Like you can, but you're gonna get like some shit for it. You know, like it's crazy.
Well,
like
people are gonna question you.
And here's what I'm saying. All I'm asking is this. Here's my people. There's a lot of people listen to BGST and then they spread it to their friends and they listen. My words of wisdom is this: if you want to express that and you do change your mind, by all means express your opinion, but bow out, leave gracefully, and just don't be a part of the Xbox world anymore. Like, go do the Sony thing.
It's not just it's not even just that. It's just like the rubbing it in. It's just like you could be like I could sit there and say, hey, you know what? Like I actually liked Uncharted 4. Like that might happen.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be like hashtag for the trophies and for the players and include Adam Boyes in my shit and just be like, oh my god, it's so great. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already level 5.
You'll at least wait a week.
Hey, no, like you guys.
So Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're staying after the show tonight? We're not doing that drive club race we had set up.
Good.
Like, I made no secrets, no crawls. That God of War 3 is probably one of my favorite games ever.
That's a great
And
game.
when that ever comes out, you're not gonna see me go Kratos all up and down on fucking Twitter. Like, you know what I mean?
Are you gonna go hashtag for the players?
Nah,
hashtag for the trophies?
You know you're going to.
No, I mean, Sony got a good game. I get it. I just don't see what's the attraction is with the PlayStation. It's lonely over there. All my friends are on the Xbox, man. You know, I don't know, man. I get cursed out. I go to my messages on.
You got to go where you're happy.
Yeah, it's just not friendly. It's a hostile environment. I go through my messages on.
That same shit happens to me.
Somebody said I gave grandmother herpes and all types of shit. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, man, fuck this, man. I'm going back on my Xbox, man. Fuck it is what it is, man. Xbox is the best box.
Blame the Mooch when he hosts, but we're almost at 2 hours here. Do you guys want to anything we want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. We can wrap it up.
Hey, we got to shout out. You know what? I want to say something. Jay Williams is the man.
Jay is the man.
Jay Williams.
He hooked me up with the new banner and stuff on my Twitter, for the Facebook page.
I ain't got no banner.
Yeah, he's working on yours. He's working on yours.
Yeah, I want a chick with a dick. That's what I want.
Oh.
I heard you're into that next gen.
Yeah,
so,
trannies and grannies, baby.
Listen, there's nothing like a nice set of tits and a nice shaved scrotum.
Hey, listen.
I'm going. I gotta eat.
Every year we get.
We just dropped. We jumped to 350 when you said scrotum, and I'm not joking.
Tim, before you go, I want you to know that every tranny that Next Gen's with, he makes sure that they are Xbox strong and not PlayStation.
He makes sure they don't. He makes sure they don't put for the players, right? And
yeah.
They got a tattoo.
For the record. Boom, boom, bacon, grease.
Well, with that, I'll tell you right now, we're gonna wrap up this week's BGST.
First show 2016.
First show 2016. You are on the New Year, everyone. I got 2 videos coming out this week. Stay tuned. Thank God, it's about time. Trying to get off my lazy ass and make some videos, so I got some coming.
Swing by my channel. Just put up 2 videos. Check them out. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Woohoo!
BGST out.
We out here.
Bacon grease.